Hello everyone, Spencer here, also known as Screen Speak, and in today's video, this is my Edgar Wright movies ranked. So without further ado, let's rank. Alright, so with that said, I'm just going to kick this right off here. Got six Edgar Wright films. I'm not including the movie The Sparks Brothers, which is a documentary. I have not seen it. If you have seen it, tell me where it falls on your list. It's not that I don't like documentaries. I just hadn't seen it and wasn't taking the time to watch a documentary that probably wasn't going to be super high on the list. Probably would have been last place. Again, not that I don't like documentaries, but none of these are documentaries. If he was a documentary director, I would rank him differently, but that's not. So with that said, let's kick things off here with number 6, Last Night in Soho. And this one to me it's not because it's bad. It's good. It has a distinct flavor to it where the directors I'm ranking have a unique style and flavor to them, and so does Edgar Wright on all of his movies. But this one in particular, it feels like, I like the cast. I like whatever her name is here. What is her name? Thomas McKenzie, Anna Taylor-Joy, Matt Smith. I like them all, and the film has like a little bit of a horror vibe going on, so it fits that different style perspective that Edgar Wright brings to it. It's also, I think, his newest one. I haven't seen a movie from Edgar Wright since Last Night in Soho, so there's that for you. I believe, this came out in 2021, and I'd like to see another one. Like, I don't want this to be, oh, well, this wasn't that great, so we're done, type of a thing. But I definitely had I remember this came out in 2021, hearing about this movie, not knowing who Edgar Wright was, before I watched all of his movies, and I was like, oh, well, I wonder, why that didn't do so well, or, why, because it got 75% and 90% critics, but it didn't seem to get a lot of buzz. It just was like, okay, that was neat, and that was it. But the scores are both good. So I watched it, was pleasantly surprised by it, the little horror aspects going on, and the two kind of dimensions, two different worlds, and what Matt Smith brought to the table. I love Matt Smith as an actor, everything he's been in. Even in Morbius, he was fun, but not a great movie. But this, I enjoyed it. It's in last place, but I enjoyed it. I would like to see more from Edgar Wright after this. I don't want him to stop. So, but like I said, in 2021, and then I watched it and went, oh, this was better than I was expecting. And then I saw other Edgar Wright things. So, it was better than I anticipated. It was definitely worth the watch. And I think it is worth a rewatch because I know it's Edgar Wright now. I would love to watch it again. So, that said, it's worth your time. Number 5, we got The World's End. I keep wanting to say At World's End. That's what I put on my notes here. But At World's End is Pirates of the Caribbean. This is The World's End. Don't get them mixed up like I do. You might. It's okay. Anyway, this is a crazy movie. And now, I have to be specific here. The Cornetto trilogy. This is the third one of the Cornetto trilogy. I just have them ranked upwards. That's because I like them. At World's End, to me, here's how I feel. This is a crazier movie than Hot Fuzz, but I feel like with this movie, it got too chaotic. And it's not a bad thing. Like I just said with Last Night in Soho, because it's in last place doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It just, I had to rank them somehow. All of Edgar Wright's movies are crazy good, but what this third one does in the Cornetto trilogy, it's like a trilogy of British movies. They're all anthology, but within the same cast, universe, ice cream land, whatever. Cornetto's an ice cream thing. So it's so crazy. It's like an alien invasion type movie, these mannequin type people. You hit them, they're like robotic arms, and they have like blue blood. It's crazy. And the way they're like, it's like the intro, like the introduction, how it's all set up is bizarre. I mean, the whole Cornetto trilogy is bizarre, but this is even weirder when you're not expecting it to happen. Like, from the poster, it's like a bar hopping movie. And then they go from bar to bar, and in one of these bars, they're just in the bathroom, and things start, going awry, attacking, like, these alien, like, blowing up, arms coming off. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? So, it's that crazy. But because of that, I feel like the execution at the end of it really, it's a funny movie. I like it a lot. Like I said, it's good. Like, Edgar Wright has great movies. But I feel like the execution at the end either is like, oh, it could be anticlimactic or not what you were expecting to happen while you're watching the movie. Like I've said, I think this is a great movie in itself for the Cornetto trilogy. But it's not, I mean, again, it's not like you're watching 1, 2, and 3 and it's like set up through the whole thing. No, they're all anthology movies. But this one, I just felt like it didn't put a bad taste in my mouth. It didn't leave the greatest taste I wanted from what they did. But by the way, it's still great. It's still great. All of Edgar Wright's movies are great. It just wasn't what I felt like it was going to be at the end. Speaking of The World's End. Next up, number 4, we got Hot Fuzz. Now, as I say, this is the second film that they put out for the Cornetto trilogy. And I like this one a little bit more because it doesn't feel as... It's weird. I mean, it's crazy and chaotic. But I feel like at the end, you're left with, man, that felt resolved. And it's just so good. It's, 2 cops here, as we see here. Simon Pegg, Nick Frost. And I love Nick Frost. I love both these actors. But what's crazy is we're getting Nick Frost in the new Star Wars Skeleton Crew series. And I wasn't even... He's a droid. And I was like, oh, Nick Frost, I love that guy from these movies. But these 2 guys doing a little thing with, there's like a devious like cult thing going on. And Edgar Wright. Simon Pegg has to take him down with his cop skills. And by the end of it, you're left with, wow, this was a great... mystery and like crime, not thriller, but crime action comedy that was compelling from beginning to end, where it's unfolded and not only does it gets resolved, but in a way that you hoped. And where I feel like at World's End didn't really satisfy me, at World's End was fun, but this was also fun, yet concluded in a way that I really liked. So, with that said, Hot Fuzz is a great crime action comedy with cops. Bad cop, good cop. Don't know what that means. I like things like that. I don't like, Law and Order, but this is a great one that Edgar Wright successfully managed. So that's it. It comes in at number 4. All right, number 3, we got Shaun of the Dead. And this is my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy. And I hate ranking Edgar Wright films because I'm like, this movie is so good. But, yeah. So, anyway, this is my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy. And, like, I would say this would be number 1 of Edgar Wright movies if it wasn't for the other 2 that are higher on this list. But it's just the number 1 of the Cornetto. So, how I feel is I love the zombie apocalypse type stuff. And, like I was saying about the last one, like, the alien invasion one was great. The cop one was great. But this one was just even better. Like, because this is the first one of the Cornetto trilogy that I watched. And I was like, oh man, this is so good with the zombie apocalypse thing. And the way it's shot, too, similar to the other 2 on this list. Like, what Edgar Wright does with his shot setups, like he's just like in a bathroom, brushing your teeth, to the sink, down, up. Then you're like opening a door, sitting down in a chair. Like, kind of robotic movements, but at the same time so fluid the way he does it. It just looks so good, seamless, and amazing. And I love this movie, like, again, when the humans are walking trying to pretend being zombies, like, it just feels so seamless and natural. And the scene progression, the dialogue, it's just natural, it flows, it's progressive, it works, and I love it. So, for me, this comes in at number 3. It's easily number 1. It's easily my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy, and I I can't stop saying good enough things about it. The cast is lovable too. Like, I mean, in the Cornetto trilogy, I just like the cast that they bring together. And yeah, I love this, and I wouldn't, it wouldn't be for my friend Michael. I'm shouting out my friend Michael to you, Michael. Getting me into this Cornetto trilogy, because my number one on this list is still my number one. It will never change, but the Cornetto trilogy is something that I will love and cherish forever. So thank you, Michael. Okay, number 2 is Baby Driver. Now, many people would have this at their number 1, but I apologize because I have a bit of a cop-out and a bit of a bias. But this one is number 2, and I watched the first time and went, like, I didn't take off my glasses, but I went, whoa, this movie's all, like, you know, like Spider-Man just took off his glasses and went, I'm back, and like, I watched this and I was like, whoa. It's a driving movie. It's like a getaway driver movie, but it also has love in it, like a relationship in it that I did not see coming. And not only that, it's Anson Elgort, who was in the remake of West Side Story, who was in that movie, Fault in Our Stars. Oh, I love Anson Elgort, dude. And I love the remake of West Side Story, by the way. I'm apologetically a fan of that movie. And like, many people are like, oh, why are we doing a remake of West Side Story? I'm like, okay, I get it. You're a nerd. Just, you're a baby. Get out. But, like, it's so good. The West Side Story reboot is great. Remake is great. And this movie is great as well. With the relationship, with the minimal action that they have in it. It's so good. And the final act is tense. I was not expecting it coming. By the way, John Hamm and Jamie Foxx and John Bernthal are all in this movie. It's like a stacked cast. Funny enough, I was talking about my friend Michael, who got me into the Cornetto trilogy, and I don't think he's seen this movie, and I feel really bad for him right now. But anyway, one of my favorite scenes in this movie in particular is when they have Michael Myers on. Did I say that right? No, I didn't at all. Michael Myers masks on, but it's not what you think. They're trying to have like the Halloween masks, the Michael Myers from the movie Halloween, but they go, it's Michael Myers. Mike Myers, like, you know, the actor who played Shrek, is like, it is a Halloween mask, and it's the most funniest thing I've seen in a movie in a little while, especially for, like, this comedy, action drama. It doesn't even have comedy in there, it's, like, action crime drama, and there's, like, a hint of comedy in there as well. It works so well, and this movie, like, I need to watch it again. I've watched clips of it, like, certain segments of it from after the first time I watched it, but this really deserves a rewatch for me, and it's just so good, and I love all of these movies, man. It's just so good. So, that said, comes in at number 2. Alrighty, guys. Now, my number 1 Edgar Wright movie is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And this, if you guys don't know, in my new YouTube, my channel banner, my YouTube banner, I have in one of the movies up there, or one of the posters in there, is Scott Pilgrim. And it's because it's my favorite Edgar Wright movie. And one of my top 10 movies of all time. I'm such an idiot because growing up, well, I should say growing up, but like years ago, I'll say like estimate 5 years ago. Say how long ago? That was 2019. Like 2017, my dad was like, "Oh, Spencer, you should watch Scott Pilgrim. You know, it's this great movie." Blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what he told me it was about, but he's like, "You should watch Scott Pilgrim," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, maybe." I keep skipping over it because I keep seeing like this guy bent over with a guitar, like his hair's like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and I'm like, what's this weird movie with Shaggy, like animated crap? I don't want to watch that. Then I got around to watching it during COVID, and I fell in love with it. This music, like this band, battle of the bands, and then this guy, like this teen, like young adult, falls in love. Well, he's cheating on this young girl, like teenage girl, high school girl, which is wrong to begin with, and then he's over here with falling in love with another girl, like an age-appropriate girl, who's smoking hot, who's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And you know, by the way, you get Kieran Culkin in this movie, Alison Pill. Alison Pill's great. She was in that movie Trap, which is cool to see Alison Pill in it. But we also have like Brandon Routh, Chris Evans, Brie Larson in this movie. It's a stacked cast. And Jason Schwartzman is the bad guy, the main villain. It's just so good. And the way this movie ends with the fighting, I can't get enough of this movie. I watch it so much. Like after COVID, like during COVID, I was watching it so much. I watched it so much during 2022 when I mean, I don't know what specifically was going on, but I've watched it so many other times. Like the final battle, it's just such a great movie. From the style to the video game like effects to the music, like the music battles are so good, and the way it ends is seamless. And I love the love story in this. It's probably like the West Side Story is one of my favorite is a great love story, but this is a love story that kicks high gear. And I also love the Ready Player One love story, but I think this one's way better. Like I'll say it right now, this is way better than the Ready Player One love story, and I love Ready Player One, but Scott Pilgrim for me is a top 10 movie of all time, probably a top 5 film of all time, in my opinion. It's so good. It will never get. And the movie's way better than the show. I forgot to mention it. Like this is the first time I talked about the movie on the channel, I think, but this is a great movie, better than the show, and everything is great about it. And that said, that's how I would rank all the Edgar Wright movies. All 6 of them. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What movies have you seen from Edgar Wright? If you haven't seen any of them, it's a shame. You're living under a rock. If you have seen the Sparks movie, or if there's another film I'm leaving out, I don't think that there is, but if there's another one besides the Sparks Brothers documentary, let me know in the comments below, and how you would rank these movies in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me. Follow me at Boba Fett Jedi Master. Instagram link is down below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm. I play Lego. Don't forget to keep calm and watch the screen. Peace out, everyone.